Charlie Munger wasn't too happy about crypto.
Yeah.
You heard the comments that he made about it. Matter of fact, I'll read it to you guys to see what he had to say about crypto. First time agreeing with what China is doing. Charlie Munger, who's a partner of Warren Buffett, he's a billionaire, goes off on crypto, says China made the right decision when they banned it. This is a fortune story. For all the recent buzz surrounding crypto investment, Charlie Munger is just not buying it, and he doesn't want any crypto traders marrying into his family either. Believe me, the people who are getting into cryptocurrency are not thinking about the customer. They're thinking about themselves. Just look at them. I wouldn't want any of them to marry into my family. He also said that he supports China's crackdown on cryptocurrency and frowned upon the U.S.'s heavy involvement with it. The Chinese made the correct decision, which is just simply ban them. And he slammed Bitcoin specifically. Of course, I hate the Bitcoin success. I don't welcome a currency that's so useful to kidnappers and extortionists and so forth, nor do I like just shuffling out of your extra billions of dollars to somebody who just invented a new financial product out of thin air. So obviously you agree with Charlie, but if you want to go a little bit deeper into what he's saying.
Old man yells
it's
at the sky.
It's not totally fair to say I agree with him, but I think his comments are important because remember, in my book, I have a whole section on how crypto came to be. Okay, so it's very important that people realize. I mean, back when Bitcoin was $1, I knew about it. So what you have to understand is the value of the coin and the platform are mutually exclusive. And what that means is that the platform is very important to understand. Blockchain technology is how you will transact all business in the future. Like you buy a piece of property right now, you have a title agent, you have doc stamps, you have a little lady that's pressing a thing down at the county. It's very
old school. It was never meant to be a speculative currency.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when people talk about investing in crypto, they're not investing, okay? They're speculating that the value of the coin is going to go up and they're going to sell it to somebody else who's going to want the coin. There's like 10,000 coins. I mean, you go on CoinGecko or whatever the site is, 10,000 coins. Okay, these are useless. Utterly useless. Now,
what percentage are useless?
That's not true.
High
That's
percentage.
not true.
A high percentage.
What percentage? 90% more?
I would say if you really want to own crypto, you own Ethereum first, you own a little bit of Bitcoin, and you leave the rest alone. Like
none of it.
Because
did I make the Ethereum argument last week?
I want to see why he's going to say that. I'm actually curious at this point.
Because you take, a smart contract, like with your house, you have title insurance. What is title insurance? It says that if there's a problem with the title later, that they'll ensure that you actually bought the title and whatever. That's all solved by blockchain.
These are smart contracts you're talking about?
There's a zero value for title insurance 10 years from now.
The currency is the contract, too. It's like when Pat was buying his house and it was a 3-day process for him to sign the deal. That's now just the coin.
That's right. So
what should Gerard do with all his Dogecoin, though?
Well, that's
don't have Doge.
That's
Doge guy.
Yeah. I mean, which coin will make it? I mean, who knows, right? Because remember, Musk comes out and makes Dogecoin a thing, and now it's not a thing. Now it's not a thing. It's gone.
He said it was not a scam, but it was a.
So
what do you say on SNL?
But look, that's like stock promotion. I mean, imagine if somebody
it's weird, right?
It's weird. You come out and you're like, what if my company's Metalla, ticker symbol MTA? If I was like, Metalla's, if I started saying all these things about how it's going to go to the moon, right? The SEC shuts me down. I can't be on a board. I can't say anything.
Unless you're in Congress, then it's fine.
Well, yeah, it's very complicated.
By the way, this
right?
is a very good point here. This is a very good point he's making. You can't go claim that your stock or an investment's going to go to the moon, but you can with crypto.
Yeah.
And a lot of people do that. Yeah,
that's right.
Well, so think about it. Think about if The Rock came out tomorrow and was like Shiba to the moon, and he owns 1 million Shibas, and it goes up 1 decimal point. He's a decabillionaire.
This goes back to the Joseph Kennedy model back in the days when he made the stock market crash, and FDR brought him in because he knew all the ways of manipulating the stock market, and then they added controls to it. So the challenge with the crypto community that they come back and they say, well, the government cannot touch it. They've already been trying to touch it. And then I get some of the private equity guys that say, let me tell you what people are doing in private equity right now because the tax code with crypto. You can buy, take a loss, buy again. You can do double tax write-offs over and over. They're not going to let that last too long of a time.
Why, though? Isn't that the beauty of the market? Like, school costs money, man. If you get caught in a pump and dump, you get caught once. Okay, it happens. You get caught twice, that's on you.
I'm not disagreeing.
Fool me once, shame on you.
But what I'm trying to say to you is you really believe an Elizabeth Warren, an AOC, a Bernie Sanders, a Nancy Pelosi is going to allow that to happen? You think they're going to let that happen constantly in the crypto? You don't think these guys are eventually going to want to over-regulate the crypto community?
Of course I do.
But right
I think they're trying now and they can't figure it out.
They're getting you used to this. So everybody is accepted the fact that they can have a wallet, They can have digital money. All their money can be on the grid. All these people that talk about crypto's off the grid, they're completely wrong. Like the kid in Orlando that was hacking people's Twitters, remember, and taking Bitcoin.
Yeah, of course. Yes.
They caught him. They showed up at his house.
Yeah.
How did they do that?
I found him like very quickly.
Very quickly.
Yeah.
And he had sent the Bitcoin all over the world to be split and washed.
Yeah.
This is on the grid.
Anybody who
wealth.
thinks they're off the grid just needs to research.
Why?
crazy.
Because they're on
Russ
platforms like Coinbase or Gemini?
Because
or why?
the blockchain is infinitely traceable and controllable. And where this
which is the point of the blockchain.
Correct. Where this all ends is FedCoin. And in the book, this is a term that I came up with about 6 years ago. FedCoin is what we'll use to pay for everything, and it'll be easy to get people to accept it. And what I think, this is somewhat controversial, but I think all these stable coins ultimately are going to crash, and then FedCoin will be what they bring, like the Phoenix they bring out of this.
You're saying like the Tether or the USD
That's right.
coin? You think those are going to crash, and then it's all just going to be replaced
And I
with
think
a
it might be
FedCoin?
pre-designed crash, where basically they say, okay, everyone's into this now, all right, but as you can see, there was some speculative problems, like the private market, so the Fed will control this.
Wait. Do you think some shadowy international pseudo-government would organize some sort of doomsday event to increase their control?
Never. But imagine if we are the elite, okay? So we say right now, okay, we would let people be free, but nonsense. Because what happens when you get to that level is you try to consolidate power all the time. You're worried about threats. And so look at FedCoin. I can control everything you do. Taxation, you can no longer avoid being taxed, because all of your money is on the blockchain.
So they're going to nationalize crypto is what you're saying, in other words.
They'll pick a crypto winner that's infinitely, the blockchain is distributed ledger. That's the technology. But when you have FedCoin, it's controlled ledger.
Sure.
So MIT makes one server that controls the entire FedCoin ecosystem on a quantum computer, and every single FedCoin is documented, and you've been really naughty, so no more leisure activities.
Oh yeah,
with
the social
engineering,
social
status.
Okay.
So let me ask you. So let's just say we go in that direction. Who wins? Who loses?
Well, I think people that are close to power win. Okay, what we're transitioning to is a command economy. So this is what China has, and I think the U.S. is envious of China because China's control is so great.
A command economy.
Yeah, a command economy. So in a command economy, where you want to be is
as
you want to be...
opposed to a market economy? Is that the idea?
That's long gone. So in a market economy, there's price discovery. And what happens is that price discovery creates the value of everything, and the market produces different solutions, to solve different problems. We left that behind a long time ago. Right now, command economy is controlled by fiat. It's controlled by committee. And if you look at how things are going in the U.S., the narrative comes out, the news story narrative comes out, the policy is set, and then people like us say, we debate about these things, but it's pointless. Because
is this like a communism rebrand? A command economy? Like that you just described communism.
It's trying to be communism with the idea of free market principles. Because if you look in America, everybody's like, "Oh, this is a free market." Is it really a free market? I mean, we can vote here. It's really this is great because we choose our elected leaders. Do we really choose our elected leaders? At every turn, all the things people say, if you really question them,
so let me ask you,
they're falling apart.
I'm sensing a thread here similar to Peter Schiff. So are you saying we stopped being a market economy, free enterprise where you can go out there and do everything when it was based on a gold standard, and now it's a command economy because it's based on fiat? Are you going to the 1972?
No.
Is that kind of where you're going?
No. And Peter's a friend. I mean, he's our biggest shareholder in our company. He's really a trip to hang out with because he has a different take on this than I have. I mean, so I don't think the gold standard really matters that much. I mean, the government has, nuclear powered aircraft carrier battle groups, and they tell you this is the dollar, and it's the dollar.
I call it the lead standard. We're on the lead standard.
Yeah,
now.
Exactly. That's what we're going to use FedCoin. They can do the same thing. You say you use FedCoin or you starve. I mean, that's the deal. Like you're going to do it.
So what happens to the actual U.S. dollar if this FedCoin comes to existence?
I don't think it matters. I mean, I think what we see is like interest rates started falling at the turn of the century. Like they're negative right now, and they're going to keep going down. Everybody's like, they're going to go up. The government's going to have a hard time financing itself. No, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. The deal is you can control this. This is a controlled demolition.
So if you enjoyed this little short segment from the podcast that we did, here's another short segment to watch. Or if you want to see the entire podcast, click over here. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.